Alright, game 3.
Okay, so I think just a quick recap of what has been happening so far. I think Team Daniel has been dominating,
Yes, it
to
is.
say the least. They have a very aggressive strategy where both sides are attacking, and it seems to be able to throw off their opponents for the time being. Let's hope they can bounce back in game 3.
Oh, look at that, 3 lings.
Oh, new strategy. Ling, ling, ling.
So right now we have
Alright, Morty,
Team
the game's
Build on
about to
top
start.
actually. Is that right? Yes, and Team Daniel below. And this time, I think that team Build heard us and they're going on a full offensive.
Oh, here
Oh,
we
this is gone.
go.
Goodbye.
Here we go.
Both of
Here
them are
we
building.
go. Very nice. Good job. Okay, don't
Take your
feed
losses
now.
and run. Okay, so you see what happened was Team Daniel actually went for the first building, while Team
Look
Build
at this
ignored
game.
their
It
first
just started,
building. They
baby.
instead upgraded, or they did not even upgrade. That is very questionable now. So I think the right strategy there was for them to upgrade both their barracks and attack, right? Iris.
Oh boy, Morty,
Oh,
somebody
that's
just
a
got
2-for-1. That is
real
worth.
brave over there.
I mean,
So-
I
so
think
it's-
that was pretty worth it, but let's see, right? Because you get a boost in goal, but what that leaves you is, of course, no last stand for the real critical moments, like when
Oh,
you're
he
building.
Oh, the other last turn was used. So I think he's. Oh, there we go. So there's only one last turn left. Yep.
Well, I think the teams need to think a little bit harder about. I
It's a
mean,
very
it's
precious
not
resource,
called
guys.
last stand for nothing. But anyway, the first strat works, right? Because you get that double kill, you get that boost in goal, and you see straight away 2 lumbers are coming out. Like I
Correct.
mentioned before, the lumbers are very important, especially the living armor, helping with the skirmishes. And I just hope that Team Build can actually start with that lumber as well.
Yeah, I see a range. 40 attack range. That's a lot, you know?
That's interesting. Changing it up.
Changing it up. So yes, Iris, you mentioned about the boost in gold and translating it to lumber. I think the lumber is one of the more critical buildings to get out first. Sometimes even more important than your second barracks. So one strategy could be you simply have your original barracks, upgrade that, pair up as a group and head over to enemy's base. I think that works well. And then when you're back, you should have enough gold to plonk down your lumber yard, so a lumber depot like that.
Yeah, and also another thing is that
Have two
lumber
common type
yard
going on.
is the
Lumber depot.
A lumber depot is one of the buildings that you can have more than one. I think you can have 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. So because you can have 3, you
That was the
can
last time, right?
you can micro that living armor to, yeah, you can use it 3 times basically. So it's a good investment. It heals your buildings, and generally it's required anyway in terms of backing up, because you
Correct.
need that to go to your tier 2 and eventually your tier 3.
The living armor is also a global spell, and I realized one thing that's missing compared to our original Barracks Master 1 tournaments IRS is that these players are not trying to block off the ramp. Do you remember?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
used to
yeah.
have ramp blocks with the buildings, and that was fun to watch. Oh,
Morty, watch out! It's a killing spree.
this is the problem why you need your living armor, because your building heals. It does not heal actually. Yeah, it doesn't heal on its own. And you can see how tanky
this guy's
he is with the living
dominating.
armor. He took 3 hits at almost no health. That's a very aggressive building. Oh, it was just a fake out. But yes, so that's why your living armor is so important. And Ling has actually the elixir of life. So that's a different way you can heal compared to Su. Su only reduces your health, so you can't use it in your structures, or you can, it's just not the brightest. But Ling has that advantage early on. And actually we were commenting on people liking Su, but I think, as you mentioned, Ling is a pretty good faction for different reasons, and sometimes you need both.
I can say that if you micro your units well with the elixir of life, you can do some really cheesy plays. So
Yes, you can. I've seen you do that personally, and it's quite annoying.
yeah, so let's see. I mean, don't count Team Build out.
I think this building is gone. Goodbye, Clorns, dwelling. And he's coming in hot with the living armor. Oh, he missed.
that
Good
was
try.
close.
That was a critical try, but it was a miss. And now they have some problems. Cavern of Fee is in trouble. Oh, at least they got a... Oh, that was a nice fake out again. It's a good strat. It's the first time we've seen this in a tournament play. So hopefully everyone learns a little bit from each other. Wow. Wow.
Killing spree. Whoa.
Very nicely done. Very nicely
your
done.
liver.
There's a lot of micro going on there. Are they upgrading though? That's the question.
Yeah, and the buildings are all pretty low life on Team Build side. Let's have a look at the net worth.
This guy's out. Tiki Street's out. Tier 2 buildings out. So I think Team Build started off the game quite well. The only issue is they didn't upgrade while attacking, and they lost the first blood as well, which allowed Team Daniel to tech up very rapidly. So right now they are still facing uphill battle, but definitely doing better than the first two games. That was a mistake again.
I don't think many people may have thought of using the Elixir of Life offensively.
Okay, so offensively, there's a radius of 120, which means that anyone within that radius gets the damage and heal. So if you're near the enemy, that's 200 damage to them. If you look at the health, it's only 140, that's an insta-kill.
And the aggression just keeps going on, huh?
Alright, they got both the heroes down, so that's good. But they are on Vapor right now. It's just one tiny barracks left versus an entire army here.
I mean, let's have a look at net worth. 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, the net worth, I would say, is not extremely huge, but if you look at the buildings that are here, you can really see a huge disparity, right? There's only one lumber depot on Team Build. In fact, I think there's no creep buildings right now.
None. Unfortunately, last time did not trigger again. So I guess it's fair. Either side, the last time doesn't trigger. I do want to note something interesting about their build. You can see that they went pure damage, and they creeps and damage, ignoring armor completely. This one creeps, no armor. This one armor, mainly damage. If you do the math, actually, a point in armor actually for 100 gold makes a very big difference, and way more worth it than the damage actually. So something that I know they're winning, but can be improved.
You would hit an old man, was
Bought a lot of time while their base are being ransacked. Lumber depot going down. 34 health. I rest.
I think it doesn't look good for Team Build. They did try to change and shake it up, and I think that was really good
That
on
was
their
necessary.
part.
That was necessary.
Yeah, I think the only challenge again is the follow-up. It's very important to remember that it's not just a skirmish game. You also need to build, you also need to tech up, you also need to remember to micromanage your units and all. So
Correct.
there's a lot of things going on.
It's an RTS game, right? RTS mobile hybrid game, so you do have all the elements of RTS, which is mainly multitasking, and that involves attacking and teching up and building all at the same time. So
But kudos to Team Daniel that even though they lost the building at the first part, they're able to continue their hyper aggression, getting first blood and using their last stand strategically, at least for the first one. And this play where you build a building to prevent the damage that's coming in for incoming projectiles. So yeah, I'm learning something today as well. I'm quite surprised that Team Build is not doing that same strategy back though. Seems pretty easy
Game over, baby. Man.
So 4-0, one last game. What do you think?
Well, I'm not sure if Team Build can bounce back. I mean, I don't know if it's a skill thing or